Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, with the dear darling of the mother Devaki, the world teacher and the refuge of all. I salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading the Bhagavat, back to reading of the Bhagavat. We are on book 2, chapter 2, verse number 8. Here, the question came how to meditate on God. And meditation may be in the form and in the formless aspect. Many people cannot meditate in the form. It takes little hard on the imagining the body and features. So you can meditate another way, seeing the whole universe as the body of Lord's body. So you can see the shining divine shining behind everything. So now we have come to the point where this we are discussing today here in the Shukadeva, the great seer of truth, is teaching this to the king Parikshit, who is dying, who is going to die within 7 days. So that advice is being given. We are also dying. We only don't know. For us 7 days or 7 months or 7 years or 17 years or 70 years, no more 70 years we cannot expect. But yeah, younger people can expect 70, 80 years. But anyhow, when the death is coming close and death is certain, we will die. There is nothing as certain as death, is it not? In the world of reality, what is the ultimate reality? This is the reality, that everyone will die. Then that's the question was raised, what is the most astonishing thing in the world? And the response was that, ahani ahani bhutani, every day we see, bhutani gacchanti jamulayanam. The created beings are dying and going to Jama Alaya, the home of Jama, the king of Jama, Jama's house. But still, people are so attached to the world and worldliness. That is the most astonishing thing. We know that we'll have to leave everything behind. But still, we think this is mine. I'll have to do this. This is important. That is important. Yes, so long we are in the human body, we have our responsibilities. Please do that. That's why you call do your duties. But don't get attached. What you are trying to hold, will it stay with you? How much you struggle? Tell me, one person in the world of billions and trillions of people born and died and become king or queen or emperor or oppressor or a very benevolent person. Is there anybody? Is there anybody still alive? So this is the foundational thing. That is most dangerous thing, and it is the most astonishing thing in life, knowing fully well that everything is transitory, momentary, and I will also die. But our attachment does not go away. We fight for petty things, it's meaningless. But should we not do anything? Yeah, do. That because to purify your mind. You do means, why we do work? Chittasya suddhaye karma. Chittasya suddhaye karma. Karma is done by the purification, shuddhi, of the chitta, Chitta means the mind, intellect, ego, your emotions, purification. All memories have all will be purified, pure, and when its mind is pure, you see transparent, God and you. Eternal substance which is we are searching for. So, this is the wise decision to do the duty, be in the world, detach. That's why there is a song, like the water which you find that sticking on the lotus leaf. Have you seen lotus leaf? There is a lotus pond in LA. And you see there, you go, the water, how it sticks on the water. It seems that drop of water is holding it, as if it is really attached. Little wind comes, boom, it rolls down like that. That's a Padma Patre Jal. Live in the world detached. Because any moment call may come. Tell me, whose call will come? Who knows that? We have so many instances happening all around us every day. But this is called the attachment. So how to get out of it? So think of God. Think of eternal. God, the eternal, the birthless, the deathless, which is unchanging. You discuss in different languages, in the language of the devotion. You say it is God, the personal. In the language of the Vedanta, you call it the Satchidananda, ocean of light, ocean of consciousness, and non-dual, beyond time, space, cognition, beyond all the manifested universe. That absolute reality. In the path of yoga, you call Jivatman, Paramatman. You tune yourself to the Paramatman, the Supreme Atman there. Language. But going to get engaged into that, do your work, at the same time be aware of this reality. So this is the point. So here, that advice is being given to Parikshit by Shukadeva. He says someone should meditate. Life should be a life, because this person who is surely the king was very pious king. That's why he immediately detached from his all other worldly responsibilities and duties and escaped, freed himself. We say, our duty, what shall I do? But King Parikshit, what he did? As soon as he had only 7 days in his life, he didn't judge how to avoid that, I can do this, I can kill that simple snake. What shall the snake can do to me? I am the monarch of the country. Can I not protect myself from a snake? But he didn't think that way. He thought, oh, death. Death is knocking at my door. So what shall I do now? So this is the response coming here. So meditation. And he said, meditate on what? That Lord, which is unchangeable, which is not limited by time, space, cognition, not limited by our mind and anything. It is unlimited, absolute. But as I said, you cannot do that. Absolute meditation, though it appears easy, but we do get back into the thought, it is limited something. As I give you the example, you think God as infinite, infinite like vast sky. Now close your eyes and think God is vast sky. What do you think? You are making a circle hemisphere, no? And map. That much is your concept. God is like infinite ocean. Think about Pacific Ocean. Now, what are you thinking? Pacific Ocean. Big? How big is that? Limited by your mind. As much your mind can think. That is your Pacific Ocean. Even it is not close to the reality of the Pacific Ocean. And Pacific Ocean is only this much in the context of the earth. And earth is little like that in the context of the other big planets. And bigger planets, and go on, stars and galaxies. Where is this? We cannot conceive, that's why we start from limited. We are limited, we start thinking on God has come down in a limited form, in the form of God, in the form of personal God. Like avatar, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Sri Rama Krishna, Chaitanya, like that. So here they are talking about today, verse number 8, about meditation. Meditation on the form. But how to do meditation on the form? Say you think on Krishna, okay? But what happens? When you think of Krishna, he is not in Krishna. He goes everywhere, minus Krishna. So what to do then? Then this process is good. We can practice this. Some meditate on Him, capital, in the space within the heart. Think that in the heart, Angustamatra, Purusho, Antaratma, and that think in the thumb-like shape of the heart, there resides a space inside. It's like a micro meditation. Meditation on the microcosm. Macro, look at the vast sky. No? And you go down into the micro. Feel that in the heart, on Him there is a space within the heart. What is as being of the size of a limited by the heart. And as the size is there in that. And having the lotus, and think there is a divine entity. With the lotus, discus, conch, and mace in his forearms. Think of a divine entity there. This helps us to keep the mind engaged in the thought of the arms and weapons and the features of the divine. His face is calm and peaceful. Think of that. Here he is a divine entity called Christ. Known figures are better to take. We normally take Ramakrishna, someone takes Krishna, someone takes Christ, someone can take Rama, no, none matter, but take that. It says, his face, now all the arms, weapons, and there are the lotus in one hand, lotus, another discus, another mace, another conch. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. The meditation of Krishna, Narayana, is called Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Dhari, one who holds in 4 arms. That's the meditation on the Narayana form. So, in his 4 arms, 4 things are there. Meditate fast, gross from the thing, we can easily think, in the hand there is a mace to strike, no? There is a circular weapon, chakra. This is the lotus in one hand, and shankha, conch shell, blowing conch shell, like that. So it is there. So 4 arms, just start from the big size, outside from, which attracts. When you look at such deity, your first attraction goes on to this thing. Then you are thinking in the face of the deity. What is that face? His face is calm and peaceful. Think about that you are focusing from the hand, 4 arms, and going to the face, and face is peaceful and serene, and his eyes are beautiful like lotus petals, and he's wearing cloth, yellow like the pistil of the kadamba flower. It is giving an example how yellow is that. What is the color? Because in kadamba is a tree, with fruit be a flower bearing tree. So its color is close to that color. To give an idea, people can easily meditate. Yellow color. He has armlets, earrings and diadem shining with precious gems with which they are studded. He is the God of the universe, no? The gems and all are all studded with that. Amulet is here, this here, all ornamented thing. Just external, going from external face to the immediately the body and things which are attractive. Then he says, his feet are established in the blooming heart lotus of great yogis. And you feel that his feet, the Lord's feet, is like blooming in the heart. That means in the heart, all the yogis are meditating in the feet of the Lord, the divine Lord. His chest is marked with the presence of Mother Lakshmi. His neck is adorned with the brilliant gem kaustubh, necklace, something neck. These are all the description of the Narayana as is meditated upon by devotees of that school of meditator. You can find whom you meditate, you can find the speciality of your object of meditation. So he said, and his frame is surrounded by an unfading wreath of assorted flowers and leaves. He is bedecked with lustrous girdle, rings and bracelets and anklets. His face, smiling and beautiful, is framed by his curly locks. Think that his hair is curly, Krishna's hair is curly. But all the details of his personality. If you look at a person, if you describe from hair to ear to eyes to what wearing, what is the ring, what is the necklace, describing every details of, so that your mind is coming out from the distracted thought, concentrated on each thing which is near the personality of that divine. This is the way to help mind running into other objects. By the movement of his brows, and he casts his glances with a playful smile on his lips, he seems to be bestowing his blessings in abundance on all. Wherever he is blinking, wherever he is looking, as if he is casting the blessings to all. So we are also getting that blessings. One should meditate on this form of the Lord until it manifests itself in the mind steadily. Now, from feet to the head, hair, arms, all these things surrounding him, associated with him, with the ornaments he is wearing, all these, you should try every day meditating on these details. And then what will happen? Don't give up till it appears in your heart, reality. Suppose we people meditate on Ramakrishna. But see, we cannot hold the mind there. Why? If we struggle this way, or try to force the mind to think of the Sri Ramakrishna's hair, ear, eyebrows, eyes, nose, you are putting the mind not to run outside, but around the divine body of your incarnation. You can think of Christ, you can think of Buddha, you can think of any ideal you choose. That's what we call chosen ideal. Chosen ideal means you choose what appeals to your heart, or your guru chooses for you. So, until it becomes, think part by part of the body. The fingers, how the finger, each finger you can concentrate. To put the mind, it is called pratyahara. Mind pulling from outside to the object of my meditation. So that the time will go not in vain meditation, sitting, either sleeping or going to think something else, minus what I want. I am repeating the mantra, but practically I am doing nothing.
And then somebody wrote about meditating on Holy Mother's finger, and then he wrote that he's thinking how she served through her hand and finger. She used to put oil on Sri Ramakrishna's, and she used to cook for Sri Ramakrishna. She used to do her japa with her finger. She how all these finger activities of Holy Mother, and that's how she was making that.
See, anyway, how to, let the mind not roam around in its own whimsical way. We are giving freedom to the mind. Okay, go wherever you like. No. Mind, think this. But think this, if we give on one word, it will not stay. We are habituated to see the gross objects. So give some gross object like of the body of Ramakrishna, and it's part of the finger and nose and hand and feet and whatever. So that the mind hangs on, and then this thinking in this detailed manner, what happens? It becomes a reality. Sometimes one day, imagination, it is called the today's imagination, becomes tomorrow's realization. Because that is truth. You may say that true, but shall I see God there by this process? Well, yes, because it is truth. Why truth? Because the scriptures say so. Because the yogis have realized. How many people has seen the vision of Christ? How many has experienced Rama, Krishna? No? So these are realities. If you can visualize that, one day it will be tangible. So that's why he says that one should meditate on this form of the Lord until it manifests itself in the mind. How? Steadily. Steadily means constantly it is there, it does not run away. One should meditate on each part of the Lord. That's important. Each part of the Lord from the foot up to his smiling face. Meditate starting from the feet and then go up, and every particular visible part of the body, because they are divine. We have our body, it is made of Panchabhuta, 5 elements. Buddha's body is also made of 5 elements, but they are purer element. Ours are Tamaso element, Rajaso element. Their element is Sattvico element. So one should meditate on each part of the Lord from the foot up to his smiling face. One should concentrate on one part at a time. One part at a time. Fix your mind. Multiple tasking people do. Multiple tasking does not happen in meditation. If you multiple, then you are distracting. It is no meditation. Multiple means you are doing 2-3 things together, no? But multiple meditation means concentrated, one thought at a time, focused. Also, multiple tasking word is really how much practical I do not know. If you read, keep the book open and you are reading and listening to someone talking or two together. Do you read the book? Or do you really hear the thing? Have you read here? Have your mind is there? Is it not? So it is hap. That means it is not your joy in reading, neither joy in reading, neither joy in listening or hearing or doing any. So, 2 things can be done during cooking. You can put the dal, let it boil, lentil, and you can cook the rice also here. And at the same time, third, you can chop vegetables. So you are preparing for the vegetable cooking. This can be done because this is doing its work. It is doing you are only looking whether it is not getting burned. And that much time when you are looking at that, you cannot do the work perfectly here. So multitasking is a very new term, but I do not know. Perfected work is not possible with multitasking. One task at a time is the best. So this is also, so you see, you cannot think of the whole, but think from part by part. And start from the bottom feet and go up, passing each part from foot up to his smiling face. One should concentrate on one part at a time, passing from the lower ones upward until the mind gets purified and the part meditated upon becomes clearly manifest in the mind. You are seeing, as it were, you are seeing his feet. totally focused there, and you see the feet. You are focused in the face. Feel that face is only there, and you can, as if I am seeing you. So till that comes, we will have to consistently practice. That is the suggestion. So long as a man has not gained intense devotion to the Lord, the master of all, the witness of everything, one should meditate on the gross form of the Lord at the end of one's obligatory rites with great attention and sincerity. So long as a man has not gained intense devotion, no, this type of thing will be trying, means mind is still have interest in other thing, not that much in the object of meditation. If someone gives you a choicest food, one which you have not tasted and doubtful, and another which you tasted and you enjoyed, which direction your hand will move? Which you have tasted and enjoyed, no? Rather than which is not known. And for us, that's why I said, so long a man has not gained intense love for that, devotion for that, the master of all, the Lord, devotion to whom? To God. Who is God? God, the master of all, the witness of everything. The master of all, the witness of everything. That means he is the witness of all universe, no? That's why it is called, you can hide whatever you do, you can hide from others, but you cannot hide from God. It is said, no? Even if you do something shutting the door, and no one in the world has seen or known, but God knows, because He witnesses everything. So our God is eternal witness of everything, the whole universe, the witness, Sakshi. See, that God. So long we don't get love for that, one should try to meditate. We should try to meditate on the gross form. And gross form means the Virato form. Virato, this is called Virato. This form of the Lord. At the end of one's obligatory rites, after performing whole day's good work, obligatory rites means obligatory duties, responsibilities, then sit for meditation like this, till the form becomes tangible and life, full of life and living, with great attention and sincerity. So that is given one good suggestion. One can meditate this way, focusing on every part of the body of the deity, and focusing part by part, and then concentrating on one part with all the details, until it becomes a tangible reality, till it becomes a tangible experience of the presence of God in the heart. When such a spiritual, now 15 verse, when such a spiritual aspirant desires to leave the body, he must give up all thought about time and location. This person naturally is focused in God. That's the point. Before death, what to do? Forget about all this. People think, oh, who will be there around me? Who will be there around me? You don't need anybody. Rather, their presence is meaningless. It is an inward journey then. Rather, meditate this way, so that mind goes so tangibly there. It matters little who is there on the side of me or what is going on. These are all then become secondary details. When such a spiritual, this type of spiritual person who have practiced and practiced and practiced, desire to leave the body. Suppose time has come and he is capable of just thinking so intensely and give up the body. He will forget where his body is, time and location. What time is this? What location? People die in India, there are good locations. Means you go on the bank of the Ganga, holy Ganga, or you go into a place which is auspicious. People run to Benares, Varanasi in India. India is a unique space, unique. The people are in the name of God, they can do anything and everything. You go to the high mountain top, there is a holy place, people will go there. So their religion is so important in their life. So you forget the time, you forget the location, where your body is there, forget time, location, you live in divine plane. Ramakrishna Lokadem, thinking of Ramakrishna and all this intensely, you remain in that plane. And this plane, physical plane, gone. He should regulate his vital energy. Now he is talking about, we have prana. At the point of death, what happens? You see, everyone dies. The life breath comes out. Someone's mouth is ha. Life breath goes out of the mouth. Some you will find that goes to the nose, nostril. There's sometimes bleeding, they see then bleeding in the nose. Mouth is shut, but it goes to the nostril. Someone goes here, eyes. Someone goes here somewhere, to the energy goes up. So he's saying that prana will leave the body, so let it go in a higher plane, not to the lower areas. So he is saying that it is the instruction, yogi, it is not those who are practicing yogi, they should know it. Because if the prana vayu, the life force, goes, this is lower, this is much lower. Someone goes to the navel, someone goes to the bottom. So, as the yogis, as the higher the plane the prana life lives, you are a greater yogi. That means you have practiced, your plane of existence will be higher and higher and higher. And when it goes through this, then you are not to be born again. Swami Vivekananda passed away. This is here, Brahmarandra. Through that, life force went away. They are not bound souls like us. If they come, they will come by to do God's work, being free. They are free, but they come to do good to others. So, he should regulate his vital energy, sitting in a firm and in convenient posture, and establish control over all the senses. So he will try, he will give up all thoughts of time and location, regulate the vital energy, as I said, the energy, which is, let it not go to lower level, let it rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, no? And control over the senses. But that means the eyes are not seeing outside, the ears are not hearing outside, the skin is not feeling cold, heat. When the sensations are made numb, because mind is concentrated in the inner idea. Where is our mind? We live there, is it not? We feel pain. But if you can be distracted from the pain, you will not feel the pain. Gross example, the children fell down and crying. And at that point, distract his attention with something, hey. And then you see, the child stops crying. It's a reality, no? So we also, how much pain is there, if it is distracted from pain point, you will not feel the pain. We know the examples like Ramakrishna. Cancer pain in the throat, but he is putting the mind somewhere, he does not feel anything. Swami Turiyananda, having the carbuncle operated, he is not in the carbuncle. So doctors did operation, he didn't feel anything. But when he was in the body, he cried out. So this is the point, restraining the mind, so sitting in a firm and convenient posture and establish control over the senses. That's why they will sit like this, concentrate in mind, focusing on all these things, will be detached from outside. And now 16 verse says, restraining the mind with purified intellect. Mind to be controlled by intellect. Mind and intellect, what is the difference? Mind sways around. Shall I go or not go? Shall I eat or not eat? That's the mind, vacillating between two ideas. And what is called intellect? I do it. That's called the intellect. That means firm determination of the mind is called buddhi. Buddhi is intellect. So restraining the mind, how will you restrain the mind? With the purified intellect. You have to control this mind which runs here and there, like fly. Fly runs out and eats filthy thing, also honey. Honey, the fly can sit in the honey and eat, drink, and also filthy, nasty things. So, restraining the mind with purified intellect, this mind which is running to have joy and fun from filthy things, sometimes good thing, restrained by pure intellect. The mind, intellect, no, I will only suck honey from God. I am not going to suck honey from filthy things of the world now. I am determined. That's the intellect. The strong mind behind will say, no, I am not going to think of anything. I will only go for God. That's a pure intellect, controlling by the pure intellect. And now this intellect will dissolve in the eye sense. It's very beautiful. They say, senses are withdrawn, senses are going to the mind. Mind is going to inner purity. It's called the intellect, pure intellect. Pure intellect is going behind the ego. And ego when merges into that Atman, then it's samadhi. And now we are coming out from there. That's why we are seeing the outside world. Ego, next is intellect, next is mind, next is the senses and sense objects and nervous system and brain and etc. So restraining the mind with the purified intellect, dissolving that intellect in the I sense in the individual spirit, I sense, ego sense, I, to the spirit means the consciousness behind the I. The consciousness which allows this ego, which is matter, to function. That is called the reflected consciousness, I. And the individual spirit in the universal spirit. This individual I in the cosmic I. The aspirant established in peace. Then only one can really establish into the perfect peace. He has nothing to accomplish thereafter by ways of duties, sacred or secular. If one can go to that level, that person has no duty. One can merge into the supreme consciousness. Got this point? How to withdraw? Withdraw the mind from outside to the senses, senses to its master, mind. All the information goes to the mind. Mind has two types, good, bad. That is to be controlled by stronger mind, pure mind. I will go for God. And that intellect, strong intellect, will be I. My intellect is my subordinate. I am the boss. I, my buddhi, my intellect. So I am the boss. So withdraw it in the I, and I going into the background consciousness called Satchidananda. No? So if this process one goes, so he has nothing to accomplish. You have attained everything for which this human life That's the finally attained. Thereafter, by ways of duties, or sacred or secular, no duties. Where time, the master of even the devas, have no sway. That is, there is no time. Time is when you come back from the consciousness into the I plane, I, ego. I will go, I will do. It's all talking in the clicking of the time, this period. When I is no more, suppose when you are sleeping, have you any concept? It is 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, or it is midnight, or it is 1 o'clock, or 1:31 minute, 1:31 minute. You have no concept. But similar situation will happen to the mind. Here is dead, dull, in the sleeping time. Mind is not functioning. Here mind is not functioning because it has reached the climax of illumination. So at time the master of even the devas has no sway. How can there be any place for any other deities of who will control the destinies of the worlds? No? We say, oh, this is Groho, these stars and planetary system is affecting my life, peace, restlessness, etc. But that zone, there is no God, there is no goddess, there is no control, there is no controller. Only Atman, the consciousness. So there is no ruler to rule me anymore. The individual soul has merged into the one drop of water, merged into the ocean. Now you cannot say, hey drop, where are you? There is no drop, it is all ocean. So there is no control or ruling by anyone else. That state transcends the Prakriti. That state of merging is the state of, it has transcended the 24 cosmic principles. And all the aspects of the evolutes like Sattva, Guna, Rajas and Tamas, as well as ego, Ahankara, or the Mahatattva, the great principle, all these he has transcended. Abandoning all the ephemeral entities with denial. This is not the reality, this is not the reality. Overcoming the identification of the self with the body, becoming established in exclusive love. Exclusive love of the Supreme Being and embracing the Lord's feet, one understands the supremacy of that state related to Vishnu and all-pervading being. So now being identified into that cosmic reality, Brahman, then what happens? Then this reality, abandoning all the ephemeral entities, their mind is not in the changeful universe anymore. That world has dropped from him. With the denial, because not this, I don't know. That's how the mind will move inward, unless you give up this side. So total denial, this is not the reality. This mind is not the reality. My understanding is only another aspect of the mind. It is not reality. It's the I. The I was connected with this. No, I am not that. So all this overcoming the identification of the self and the body. This I am the body. This is my idea. But this sadhaka, this spiritual aspirant has raised in consciousness there. Becoming established in the exclusive love of the Supreme Being, because he is now totally fallen in love with the Atman inside. No? He has merged there. Their union with the Atman. Embracing the Lord's feet, one understands the supremacy of that state related to the Vishnu, who is everywhere. So, this way one can make a journey. There is a place when they will feel that all the joy concentrated, that is the feet of Ramakrishna. That is the feet of Narayana. Feet means abode of bliss. Withdrawing oneself from everything, objective with the help of the refined understanding obtained through the study of the practice of spiritual philosophy and disciplines. So what to do? Practice. withdraw oneself from every object. With the help of how? Refined understanding, vichara. This is unreal, this is not real, this is temporary, this is not eternal. And to the study, how do you get it? We have to read this type of book, which will talk about that, again and again remind us. We are reading, that's why we are getting. When the book was over, covered, did we know about all these things? Now we are reading, we know. So, study of the scriptures, to the knowing, to the study of the scriptures, and spiritual philosophy. What is the philosophy of life? Knowing that philosophy of spirituality and following the disciplines. What are the disciplines? Sama, Dhamma, I will be restraining my senses, I will restrain my mind, internal, external, withdrawing our senses into the internal level. All this training, discipline. The sages then abandon his body. Then the sages will be, because there is no attachment for anything, and withdrawn from everything. As a result, how will, then he will die. It's a yogi will die. How the yogi will die? That means first mind has been withdrawn from everything, and still there is a consciousness that I am merging into, but body too still there. How to get out of the body? Then the prana, the vital energy, let it come from the bottom. Let it not go to the bottom and us. Let it be squeezed. And that force go up and up in the plexus to plexus to plexus to plexus. And then ultimately should go through this. So that description they are giving here. It is saying that what will happen? Withdrawing oneself everything. Achha. Pressing the anus with the heel in order to restrain the vital energy, which is called apana, prana, apana, samana. These are the different names of the energy which is flowing in our body. So apana is the downward force. So known as apana, from its downward course, he should without strain raise the vital energy little by little through the 6 centers. We have 7 centers, no? Sat chakra, sapto bhumika, 7 planes also, it is called 7 planes. What is that? Mula adhara, the foundation, the base. Manipura, next state. Anahata, navel. Vishuddha, throat. Agga, here. And 7th, Brahmaradna, the hole in the tip of the head. Only yogis of high category, they can go through this, penetrating this. As I said, Vivekananda died, here was the blood came out. And the prana vayu, the force, life force, penetrated that and left. Indicates that status of the yogi, how great is that yogi. Swamiji was, thak. The vital energy that resides at the navel, Manipura center, should be raised further to the chest. Normally, our digestive power remains in our navel zone. So it should be raised to the next, the heart chakra, anahata, united with the aspect of vital energy, which is called prana, residing there. So it should be raised and connected with the next energy level, prana level here. Prana means, that's why our heart is beating, no? That's why people say he is alive. Heartbeat stops, gone, no? So long the heart is beating, you raise your consciousness of the prana energy from lower level to the higher level. Then from there, the aspirant should, with the help of his willpower, force the mind. Mind should go up, prana should go up. Carefully raise the energy little by little to the root of his neck. Here, root of the neck here. To the root of his neck, it is called Vishuddha chakra. And unite with the Udana. Here is Udana Vayu. These are yogis can know what is what by. So here is one type of energy. Mix the lower energy into this. Then put the mind higher up. It goes to the behind the neck, Vishuddha here, we call Vishuddha Chakra. And unite with the Udana, the vital energy residing there. From that point, the energy should be raised to the root of the tongue. Here. Meaning, some say in the Agga, this chakra, the yogis will see the root of the tongue and the upper limit of the Vishuddha Chakra. This is the last point of the heart chakra. From there, the energy should be raised to the level of the middle of the eyebrows. Here is the last, the Vishuddha started here, the heart, and its range is up to this part, the bottom of the tongue. And then tongue, that energy pushes up into the eyebrows, Agga Chakra. The 7 orifices, that is the orifices of the eyes, ears, nose and mouth, should be restrained to prevent the escape of the energy through any of this. That means let it not pass through your mouth, let it not pass through your nose, let it not pass through your eyes. There are 2, 2, 4, to the ear, 6, mouth, 7. These 7 orifices through which the pranavayu can go out. Restrain that. And then, if one is without any desire, only if you have no desire in the world, then only you can push it up from there. And if one is without any desire, one stays there for a moment with the spiritual insight, fully uncovered, and then piercing the Brahmarandra here, at the top of the crown, one lifts the body, realizing oneness with the Supreme Being. Bas, that is the way yogi should leave his body. Huh? How easy? So, how much practice they do? This is yogic path of leaving the body. So one can be liberated by that way. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So we'll read the next day, this from the verse number 22. We have read up to 21. 2.2.22 we'll start next time. So we have some questions, we are going to those. Okay. The question is it necessary to live in monastery as monk or nun if we decide not to marry? Can we not live in the world as unmarried celibate with life devoted to God and have a small job? Yes, that's good. Live. Whatever is your goal, you are free to do. Main thing, to control the mind, to master the mind, to get an opportunity for your meditation, to get an environment congenial for your meditation. Some of the devotees tell us that I cannot live in that house. I am renting there, I am in my apartment. But the next adjacent neighborhood, there is a high sound music. Boom, bam, boom, bam, going on at the middle of the night. I cannot sleep. What the question of meditation? What the question of leading a peaceful life? And on a morning, evening, they don't care for any time. They have their own time and they are doing. So that is the difficulty. Otherwise, why not? God realization depends on your mind, purity of the mind. It does not depend upon whether you are in the monastery or in the out. But monastery gives us a little better opportunity. There is distraction is less. Rather in the monastery, if you stay, you do meditate, people will appreciate that. If you don't, rather we will be unhappy. Why he is not coming to temple? Why that is not good? Rather it will be ridiculed. But outside, if you don't meditate, people will think you are right. If you go for dancing and singing in nightclubs, they'll be, oh, this boy is good, this girl is good. But you see meditate, what type of boy is this? So outside situation, inside situation, this is the difference. But it is all in the mind. So if anywhere we stay, we give our thoughts to God, then it is good. That is the best thing for the person who is questioning. You have to decide that whether in this environmental help, you need it, or you can do it anywhere in the world. Yes, God realization is possible. But you see, look at the history. All the people who have God realized, they try to get into secluded place. Actually, you cannot meditate on the Hollywood Boulevard. Either really some cracked brain, or you are totally Paramahamsa. You are like a Ramakrishna-like person. So that's the point, is that it is doable everywhere, but only monasteries, convents, they give us little better opportunity, scope, and all the people, those are here, they are also same ideal. They also want to realize God. They also want to meditate and pray and read and lead a pure life as far as possible. So that is the benefit of it. But you can realize, yes, having small job, having your own privacy, independence, yes, that's possible. But that is little matured person with much strength can do that. Ordinary weak people will be always under the pressure of the environment. So that is to be decided. And another question, what to do with mosquitoes and other insects in our house? Kill them. Mosquitoes and other insects in our house, kill them simply. Because for your this is not ahimsa. This is not crossing ahimsa level. But ahimsa should be truly, is equal not committing injury to anyone by word, thought and deed. But it is not the survival question. If you are breathing, you should not breathe then. Every breath you are killing so many bacteria. You should not walk on the road, because your foot, under the foot you are killing millions and billions of bacteria. You should not wash your body, because so many bacteria are being all over the body. So that's why himsa, we have to understand the language with intention, causing harm to you. I intently do. For my survival, eating food, so you should stop eating food, because you are eating grains. Why are you eating grains? These grains would have bring out more life from that. You take sprouts. Sprouts are healthy. It's vegetarian. Why do you take sprouts? And eating them, put it. It will grow, its own plant will grow. And you are eating them, chewing them down. No, that is for the survival question. So it is, intention is the question. So killing them for cleanliness purpose breaks bhav of ahimsa. I don't think it breaks the bhav of ahimsa. But a state of mind will come in your life that you cannot even kill one mosquito. That's a very high level. When you tune with oneness, with the mosquito consciousness and your consciousness in one at one level. So that is very high level. But otherwise in our level, for your meditation, if it is mosquitoes or insects are disturbing you, how will you meditate? And how will you keep a good health? A malarial infection comes, or any mosquito carries many germs. So that is, for that protection is necessary. Another question is coming. Ramakrishna gives the parable of the woman whose mother-in-law gives her less work when she becomes pregnant and then no work after birth. Ramakrishna implies that one is in the hospital until cured. Here it seems like karma falls away when bhakti comes. Yet, Swamiji teaches that karma is the consummation of bhakti, that one becomes busier after jnana. How to reconcile? Here both the same thing. When you say that Ramakrishna said when you are doing karma. Karma drops off when you love God. Like a mother carrying a baby, they does so many household work. But when the time comes for birth, baby, giving the birth to the baby, she cannot do anything. She is totally engaged in the baby. And after the birth of the baby, mother's only major work is to check on the baby and take care. So baby is God. So in the baby, in a subtle way, in our heart, not becoming a baby, I cannot see his presence. But when it becomes palpable and really he appears, then what will happen? Our life will be turned around God and God only, nothing else. Like the baby in the mother, similarly. So that is the idea, then karma automatically falls. And yet Swamiji teaches that karma is the consummation of bhakti. Yes, after doing karma only, bhakti culminates into karma. That karma is what? That karma is not ordinary karma. That karma is to be mentioned as a nishkama karma. That means arsi, that all the holy people, after realizing God, attaining bhakti, they are engaged in serving others, doing good to others. So that is the consummation of bhakti. That it is the karma is the consummation. Karma is the consummation of bhakti. Bhakti is consumed in karma. No. That karma is not our ordinary karma. This level of work we do, that is mixed with our desires. So that is the karma out of compassion and oneness.
You gave one talk on Sunday service about Swami Vivekananda's karma, how he is to interpret that one.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago.
Right. Karma can lead us to the extreme experience. Another question, what is the significance of Akshaya Tritiya? Akshaya Tritiya, Sanskrit meaning of Akshaya Tritiya in 2 words, holds a lot of importance. Akshaya means which has never diminishing, it never diminishes. Akshaya. Kshaya means which perishes, perishable, imperishable. That is the meaning, imperishable. And Tritiya significance, the 3rd day of the illumined half of the moon. You see in the sky, the moon will find little trace of 3rd day's appearance of the moon is visible. So on Akshaya Tritiya, it is the Treta Yuga, the 2nd of the 4 yugas, started. And the 6th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Parashurama was born. These are the, what you call the remarks from the Puranas. But the main thing, it is an auspicious day. Akshaya means, you do anything on today, it will remain perpetual. You do japa more, you will be continuing more. It's a very auspicious day. Whatever you do, you give some gift, that merit will come to you and it will remain with you. Like that. It's a faith. Most auspicious day. Do meditation, prayer, whatever you do, everything will be. Oh, it is some description still there. It is considered that Maharishi Veda Vyasa, the author of Mahabharata, started narrating this epic to the Lord Ganesha on this day. That's another story. It was on this occasion that Lord Krishna met his childhood friend Sudama and blessed him with bountiful wealth and happiness. The stories are there. And different stories of holiness. Lord Krishna gave the Akshaya Patra to Draupadi, such a container that you can feed any number of people unless you finish your own food. Krishna gave him one pot. It will be, you take out as much, it will refill or automatically refill. As per another notion, the river Ganga descended on earth from the lotus feet of Vishnu on Akshaya Tritiya. Annual Ratha Jatra in Puri Jagannath begins on this day. Acha. All events mentioned are associated with Vishnu or his incarnation. So, one of the most important ritual includes worshipping Lord Vishnu on this day. That we think.
And we read Bhagavatam.
We read Bhagavatam also today, Vishnu. So today is dedicated to Lord Vishnu, Krishna, Ramakrishna. And we also read Krishna's related books. Acha, one question further. Which commentary of Bhagavatam Swamiji is reading? It is not a commentary, it is just a translation by, it is called the Srimad Bhagavatam. You can get it from our bookshop or Vedanta, ki bole?
I'm going to share the link.
Yeah, acha. You can see the link is given on your screen. And it is called Swami Tapasyananda. He has translated it, and it is published from our Ramakrishna Math in India, Madras publication. There are 4 volumes. This is the first volume we are reading.
The link is on the chat.
The link is on the chat. Another question. When yogi leaves the body in a comatic state, then also prana leaves from the top and they are meditating on the divine. When the yogi lives in the body in a comatic state, normally we also hear that whenever they die, their mental plane remains. It's a body dying. In a coma state. Coma state means body is already almost non-functional. But his mind is not non-functional. The mind is functional. Yes, so? So? So I do not know, but my concept goes, yes, when you raise your mind in a higher concept level, naturally whether the body, you are aware of the body or without the body, when it leaves the body it will go to the higher plane. Another question, wonderful exposition on the art of dying. How can we practice here by ourselves? Yeah, we have to practice this as what to practice. He has already said you are not to control your prana and others, but he has mentioned before that you meditate on God. Do that meditation now, the mind will automatically be in the higher level. And when death will come, it will be merging into the higher plane. That's why our present spiritual practice should be concentrated on this. What? To meditate on God in the personal form. Mostly you are talking about the bhakti, or impersonal also, whatever you like. To control the senses, to bring the mind's attention from outside and focusing into one direction. That's that type of sadhana, what we read today, it should be considered that.
One more question here on the computer.
One question. When our time comes to leave the body, what should we devotee do? How should we leave our body? Yes, we should leave our body as just we read. That is the way we should leave our body. Now we are bhaktas of Thakur. We are only to think about Sri Ramakrishna or whoever is your chosen ideal. Think of God, meditate whole life. As a result, the mind will be raised into that higher consciousness. Our only activity will be how to raise our mind from this mundane, changeable reality to the higher reality that is divine. So, follow your Guru's instruction. Follow the practice you are doing. Day and night feel that this, try to detach. We should all do. Because nothing is permanent. But I am here, so long I am here, I will have to do all these things. But to understand it, these are not me. These are not mine. These are all coming and going. But me is belonging to the Lord. As a devotee you say, O Lord, I belong to you and you alone. And think of Him, feel His presence. As we said, meditate on Him from the feet to the head, no? Part by part, and then focus, concentrate on one part, And then forget yourself in that thought. You do so much that your mind gets merged and absorbed and absorbed and absorbed. So this is a sadhana. Last moment, nothing miracle can be done. The point of death comes, if I know, I will be crying. Oh my God, I am to leave. What will happen to me? No. It depends on the practice. If you practice, you will be bored. Okay, let death come. I am ready. Who cares? The body. Body is body. Body, I know body will not stay. But I am not the body. I am one with my Ishta. Think of him intensely and merge yourself in that intense thought. And then you will be tuned to God consciousness. That's all. Let the body go. Let the body go or don't go. It matters little. Let it function in whatever way it likes. Is there a difference between yogi leaving a body by controlling the breath and bhakta leaving a body taking name of God? As much my concept goes, yes, there is no difference. Only bhakta does not pay attention to where the breath is going out. Bhakta loves God in such intensity, the mind automatically moves into that plane. Where we think, according to our thought, our mind lives in that area. When you think of food, where is your mind? In the belly. When you are thinking of sense objects, it goes down. When you think of God, where does it go? Look at that. I have used the three examples. You see, where is your mind went? You know, where does it go? So what is the sadhana? To keep the mind in a lofty thought. That is the only thing we can do. And by that practice, if one is really practicing days and days and days, have lifted the mind in a level, and the prana will go to that level, from that area. Automatically, they are connected, synchronized together. So, better not to pay attention. My request will be all of you, and me also, not to think of all these things. The yogic way or this way, love God. And try to feel closeness with His presence. That should be our only effort. Okay, we end here. We'll meet you at 7:30 for the next class. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.